Walking less with age? That might not be the problem. It might be the opportunity your body has been asking for. Most people assume more walking equals stronger legs, but for many seniors, the truth is more complex. When joints begin to ache and steps feel heavier, continuing to walk the same way can sometimes do more harm than good. That's not a sign of weakness, it's a signal. And if you've been feeling it too, you're not alone. Here's what's rarely said. Seniors who switch from long walks to specific, muscle-targeted movements often regain strength faster, feel steadier on their feet, and experience less joint pain. Because it's not about walking farther, it's about waking up the right muscles that support every step you take. Especially after 60, it's crucial to shift from general movement to smart, focused training. This video isn't about pushing through pain, it's about rebuilding your foundation. We'll walk you through 5 simple but powerful exercises that support your legs, knees, hips, and balance, all from the comfort of home. Even if you've been sitting more lately, that doesn't mean you've lost your strength. It means this is your perfect starting point. Have you been walking less? Feeling unsure what to do instead? Share your experience in the comments. Others are going through the same thing. And if protecting your strength and independence matters to you, go ahead and tap that like button and hit subscribe. What you'll learn next could change how you move every single day. Oswald is 77 now, but for most of his life, he was the man everyone saw first thing in the morning, his footsteps echoing down the sidewalk as he delivered mail, rain or shine. He was a postal worker for 40 years. Walked 5, sometimes 6 miles a day without even thinking about it. He had strong legs, quick feet, and a rhythm that made him feel alive. But something changed when he hit 74. It started with small things. A strange stiffness after dinner. A little ache in his right knee while climbing the porch stairs. Then came the hesitations, avoiding longer walks, skipping errands, choosing to sit just a little longer in the morning. He didn't realize it at first, but gradually, walking, something that had once been second nature, started to feel like work. Heavy, tiring, sometimes even painful. So he did what many of us do when movement starts to hurt. He slowed down a lot. Oswald went from walking miles to barely making it around the block. And it showed. His thighs weakened. His balance felt shaky. Standing up from his recliner took more effort than he liked to admit. He started saying no to outings. Turned down an invite to his neighbor's birthday party because it involved too many stairs. And the worst part? He felt like his independence was quietly slipping away. But one phone call changed everything. His daughter, a physical therapist, suggested something simple. Dad, don't walk more. Walk smarter. Try these 5 movements instead, just 10 minutes a day. You don't even have to leave the house. He was skeptical, of course. Could something that's short, that easy, actually make a difference? No gym, no weights, no long walks? But Oswald was tired of feeling like his body was betraying him. So he gave it a shot. What happened next surprised even him. Within 2 weeks, his legs felt steadier. He wasn't gripping the wall to put on his shoes. Getting out of his favorite chair didn't require a grunt and a prayer. His confidence came back. So did his sense of control. These 5 exercises didn't just strengthen Oswald's legs. They brought back something he thought was gone for good: pride. And they're the same 5 we're about to share with you. There's a quiet guilt many older adults carry, the kind that creeps in when you start walking less than you used to. Maybe it's a shorter stroll around the block. Maybe it's skipping your regular route altogether. You sit down more, and somewhere deep down you wonder, am I giving up on myself? But here's the truth most people don't hear enough. Walking less doesn't mean you're failing. In fact, for many people over 60, it's your body making a wise adjustment. Let's be honest. Walking is a wonderful activity. It gets you outdoors, keeps your blood flowing, and offers a gentle rhythm that feels good. But what's often overlooked is how aging changes the way our joints, muscles, and ligaments respond to repetitive motion. Especially if there's arthritis, past injuries, or chronic stiffness in play. Simply pushing through more walking can actually cause more harm than good. That ache in your knee, that tension in your lower back, it might not mean you're lazy. It might mean your muscles are no longer absorbing impact the way they used to. And that's not a moral failing. It's a natural part of the aging process. What truly matters is how you choose to respond to those changes. Instead of viewing reduced walking as a setback, think of it as a redirection, a signal to shift from general movement to intentional, targeted strength work. Because after 60, your body doesn't just need motion. It needs activation. It needs to turn on the smaller, stabilizing muscles that support every step you take, from your ankles to your hips to your core. Here's the good news. You don't need long walks or crowded gyms to keep your legs strong. What you need is smarter movement. Movements that wake up the muscles that walking alone can't touch. Movements that protect your knees, improve your balance, and help you stay upright, steady, and self-sufficient. Your body isn't asking you to stop. It's asking you to move differently, more intentionally, more gently, and with a plan. So let go of the guilt. You haven't failed. You've just reached a new chapter. And in this one, smarter movement is your greatest ally. Let's start with something deceptively simple. Something you can do while sitting in your favorite chair, watching the evening news, or sipping a warm cup of tea. It's called the foot press pulse. And while it looks small, it has a powerful impact on your entire lower body, especially for older adults who struggle with foot pain, balance issues, or feel less stable in shoes than they used to. Here's how it works. Sit tall in a sturdy chair with both feet flat on the ground. Take a small towel or even a folded washcloth and slide it underneath your toes. Not the ball of your foot, just the toes. Now, press your toes down into that towel like you're gently trying to squish a bug under your foot. Hold the press for 1 second, then release. Do that 10 times on each foot. It may seem too subtle to matter, but don't be fooled. That tiny pulse wakes up a muscle chain that's often ignored, especially in seniors, the intrinsic foot muscles. These are the tiny stabilizers in your arches and toes that help you stay upright when you walk, stand, or shift your weight. And when they weaken, as they often do with age or inactivity, it throws off your balance, your posture, and even how your knees and hips absorb pressure. Have you ever noticed how your balance changes depending on what shoes you wear or how long you've been on your feet? That's not just about comfort. It's often a sign that your foot muscles aren't holding up the way they used to. The foot press pulse helps bring those muscles back to life without standing, straining, or risking injury. Even more interesting, strengthening these muscles helps reduce the load on your knees. When your arches collapse or flatten over time, a common issue after 60, your knees start absorbing shock in ways they weren't built for. But by simply pressing your toes downward, you're re-engaging the foot's natural shock absorbers. You're telling your body, I'm rebuilding my base. Oswald, our 77-year-old story guide, started with this one while sitting at his kitchen table every morning. It felt silly at first, he admitted, but after a week, my feet felt sturdier in my slippers. I even stopped gripping the walls when I walked into the bathroom at night. So don't underestimate the power of a small movement done consistently. Try the foot press pulse today, 10 presses per foot, once or twice a day. It takes less than 2 minutes, and it could be the start of stronger steps, steadier mornings, and fewer wobbles when you least expect them. Have you ever noticed your feet getting weaker, or felt like your shoes don't feel as stable as they once did? Share your story in the comments. Someone else out there is likely feeling the same. Let's move into something most people never think about: the muscles running along the front of your lower legs. These muscles quietly guide your every step, especially when lifting your toes or adjusting your balance. When they weaken, your chances of stumbling on a rug corner or catching your foot on a curb skyrocket. That's why exercise too. The shin sweep is one of the most overlooked but powerful moves for seniors walking less. You don't need to stand. You don't need shoes. You just need a chair, a flat surface, and your attention for 1 minute. Sit up straight with both feet flat on the ground. Now extend one leg just slightly forward so your heel stays in contact with the floor. Begin slowly sliding your heel from side to side, just a gentle sweep like a windshield wiper. Keep it slow, smooth, controlled. Let the motion come from your shin, not your knee or hip. Repeat this 10 times, then switch legs. That's it. What's happening beneath the surface is far more exciting than it looks. This tiny side-to-side movement activates the tibialis anterior and supporting muscles along the shin, the ones responsible for lifting your foot when you walk and keeping you steady when stepping over obstacles. These are also the first muscles to weaken when you sit more and walk less, and they're not easily reactivated through normal walking alone. Have you ever noticed your feet scuffing the ground? Or felt unsure lifting your foot over a threshold or small step? That dragging feeling is often a direct result of shin weakness. And that's where the shin sweep steps in, gently retraining the foot to lift, stabilize, and recover faster. For seniors, especially those over 70, this is a game changer. Oswald found this move especially helpful after he almost tripped on the welcome mat at his front door. "I didn't fall, but it scared me," he admitted. "Now I do the shin sweep every morning before I stand up. My feet clear the floor better. My steps feel sharper. I don't shuffle anymore." And that's the point. This isn't about building bulky muscle. It's about reclaiming control of your feet and lower legs. It's about staying one step ahead of trips and missteps, especially on uneven sidewalks, indoor rugs, or unfamiliar stairs. Give it a try. Just 10 slow sweeps per leg. That gentle side-to-side motion may seem small, but it could be the reason you walk through your home with more confidence and fewer close calls. Have you had a near trip lately or noticed your foot dragging more than usual? Let us know in the comments, because your story might help someone else feel a little less alone. Some of the most important movements in life happen in the smallest spaces, like getting off the toilet, stepping out of the car, or rising from your favorite chair. And yet, many seniors find those very moments becoming harder, slower, and more painful with each passing year. That's why exercise 3, the chair stance hold, is a must-learn move for anyone over 60 who wants to stay strong, steady, and independent without putting pressure on fragile knees. Here's how to do it. Stand behind a sturdy chair with your hands resting lightly on the back for balance. Now imagine you're about to sit, but stop halfway down. Don't plop into a chair and don't squat too deep. Just lower your hips a few inches, pause, and hold that half-sitting position for 10 seconds. Keep your back straight, your feet flat, and your weight evenly spread. Then slowly rise back up to standing. Repeat that hold 5 times. You're not just pretending to sit. You're retraining your legs to catch you, to support your body weight in that awkward middle space where most injuries happen. It's the kind of moment that leads to wobbles, falls, or knee strain when leg muscles aren't strong enough to handle the load. And for seniors walking less, these muscles shrink faster than we realize. The beauty of this move is how much it strengthens the quads and glutes without the deep bending that aggravates worn-out knees. It's joint-friendly, controlled, and powerful. Have you noticed rising from a chair now requires a grunt? Or that climbing stairs takes more effort than it used to? That's not just age. It's a signal that your leg muscles are undertrained. But they're not gone. They just need the right type of challenge to wake back up. The chair stance hold is exactly that challenge, tailored for older adults who want real-world strength without risking injury. Oswald couldn't believe the difference it made. "When I first tried this, I could barely hold for 3 seconds," he said. "But by the second week, I was rising from my recliner without pushing off the armrest. That felt like winning a medal." It's a small thing, right? But think about what it really means to get up without help, to stand with confidence, to not second-guess your balance. Try it today, right where you are. 5 holds, just 10 seconds each. And if you've struggled with stairs, low seats, or getting out of the car lately, let us know in the comments. Your story might be the reason someone else finally starts strengthening their legs too. There's a silent shift that happens in the way many older adults walk. One day you're striding with ease, and before you know it, you're shuffling. Shorter steps, slower pace, a subtle lean forward. Most people chalk it up to age, but often it's not your age at all. It's your hips and glutes quietly losing strength. That's why exercise 4, Wall leg lifts is such a critical move if you're walking less or noticing a change in how you move. Here's how to do it the right way. Stand tall beside a wall, one hand lightly resting against it for balance. Keep your feet parallel, your toes pointing forward. Now slowly lift your outer leg straight out to the side, only as far as you can go without tipping or twisting your body. Pause briefly at the top, then lower the leg back down with control. That's 1 rep. Do this 10 times, then switch sides. At first, you might feel awkward or unsteady. That's perfectly normal, especially if your hips haven't been active in a while. But with each repetition, you're waking up the muscles that give you stride power and postural support, the gluteus medius and surrounding hip stabilizers. These muscles are essential for staying upright and steady, particularly when walking on uneven ground or navigating stairs. When they weaken, we start compensating. That's when the shuffling begins. You take smaller steps. You lean forward to feel more secure. Your spine curves, your balance falters, and your confidence slowly drains. Oswald remembered the first time he noticed it. "I caught my reflection in a shop window," he said. "I looked like I was sneaking around, bent forward, short steps. That wasn't me." Wall leg lifts changed that. He began doing them during TV commercials, 10 on each leg, a few times a day. It wasn't dramatic. No pain, no equipment. But within a couple weeks, his steps were longer. His back stood taller. He felt more like himself again. That's what this exercise offers: a reset, a chance to stop the slow shuffle before it turns into a permanent limp, a way to walk into a room feeling secure, not fragile. And for seniors walking less, this becomes even more important. Less walking often means less hip engagement, and less hip engagement leads to greater fall risk. But the wall leg lift is a gentle, joint-safe way to reverse that pattern. So if you've noticed your walk changing lately, or if someone's mentioned that you're slowing down, this is the move to start today. Have you ever felt your steps getting shorter or more cautious? Let us know in the comments. You're not alone, and you can get your stride back, one lift at a time. Some days, just standing up feels like a mountain. Whether you're recovering from an illness, surgery, or a long stretch of inactivity, the idea of jumping into exercise can feel overwhelming or even unsafe. That's why exercise 5, the seated leg press push, is so important. It meets you exactly where you are, safely seated, and still activates the full leg chain to rebuild strength from the ground up. Here's how to do it. Sit in a sturdy chair with your back straight, feet flat on the floor about hip width apart. Now press both feet firmly into the ground, as if you're about to stand, but don't actually rise. Just hold that strong, pressing motion for 5 seconds. Then release. That's 1 rep. Do 10 rounds of these 5-second pushes, resting briefly in between. What's happening here is subtle but incredibly powerful. This is called an isometric contraction, where your muscles fire without changing length. That means there's no strain on your joints, no movement required, and yet your legs are doing real work. This kind of activation is ideal for seniors who are walking less or dealing with joint pain, weakness, or instability. It gives your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves a chance to turn on, without risking a fall or overexertion. It also sends a clear signal to your nervous system. These muscles still matter. When you go long periods sitting, your legs start to go offline. Blood flow decreases. Muscle fibers weaken. Your body begins to forget how to engage them when needed. The seated leg press push wakes those muscles up safely, gently, and effectively. Oswald found this move right after a brief illness had him in bed for nearly a week. "When I got up, my legs felt like jelly. I didn't trust them," he said. "I started doing these pushes while sitting at the table. Within days, I could feel the power returning." And that's the beauty of this exercise. It gives you back a sense of control. No gym, no standing, no risk. Just a quiet push from a seated position that tells your body, "We're not done yet." This move is especially helpful for those recovering from hospitalization or dealing with chronic fatigue. It's the bridge between rest and full mobility, the step that brings your legs back to life one press at a time. So if you've been feeling disconnected from your strength, if walking less has left your legs feeling heavy or numb, start here. Press, hold, breathe, repeat. 10 rounds a day can reignite strength, confidence, and circulation. You'll be surprised how quickly your legs respond. Have you recently been recovering from something? Or just feel like your legs aren't there anymore? Share your story in the comments, because the path back starts with just one seated push. Oswald didn't need a gym. He didn't need fancy equipment, a personal trainer, or an overwhelming routine. All he needed was 10 minutes a day and a shift in mindset. At 77, he wasn't chasing youth. He wasn't trying to be who he was at 50. He just wanted to feel like himself again, strong, steady, and proud of how he moved. When he started these 5 exercises, Oswald was cautious. He'd lost confidence in his legs. Getting out of bed in the morning felt uncertain. Stairs made him nervous, and his daily walks, something he once loved, had dwindled to short, hesitant shuffles down the driveway. But he showed up every morning, just 10 minutes. No skipping, no excuses. The first few days, his legs trembled during the chair stance hold. The shin sweep felt awkward, and he almost laughed at how strange the foot press pulse seemed. But something inside him said, keep going. By week 2, he noticed something subtle. Standing from his recliner didn't take as much effort. The shuffle in his step, it started to disappear. His daughter noticed before he did. Dad, you're walking different, she said. Stronger, straighter. And then came a moment that sealed it. At his granddaughter's wedding, Oswald was seated at the back, watching the celebration unfold. Music started. People began moving to the dance floor. His instinct was to decline, like he had so many times before. But this time, something was different. He stood up, without a grunt, without grabbing the chair arms. He walked forward, steady and sure. And when his granddaughter held out her hand, Oswald joined her on the floor. Not for long, just a slow, swaying dance. But in that moment, he didn't feel like a man in decline. He felt alive again, present, strong. That's the power of moving smarter. Oswald didn't walk more. He trained the right muscles. He listened to his body. He worked with what he had. And as a result, he gained back not just strength, but confidence, connection, and joy. You can too. You don't need to push through pain or do what you did in your younger years. You need to start with the movements that matter. And if Oswald's story proves anything, it's this. You're never too old to feel strong again. Have you had a moment where you realized you were getting stronger or wanted to? Tell us below. Your transformation might already be underway. Walking less doesn't mean giving up. It means you're paying attention. You've learned to listen to your body, and now you know strength doesn't always come from movement. It comes from the right kind of movement. These 5 simple exercises weren't just made for your legs. They were made for your life, for moments like standing with confidence, stepping onto uneven ground without hesitation, or rising from your favorite chair without a second thought. And here's something most people overlook. The strength you're building isn't just physical. It's mental, emotional, quietly powerful. Every time you choose to press your foot, lift your leg, or hold your balance, you're sending a message, not just to your muscles, but to yourself. You're saying, I still have more to do. I'm not done showing up. I can move through this. That mindset changes everything. So don't focus on what's harder now. Focus on what's still possible, because it's more than you think. One routine, one choice, one strong moment at a time. And if this gave you hope or reminded you of your own power, tap that like button. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next step in your journey. And most of all, share this with someone you love who might need to hear these words too. You're not behind. You're right on time.